Morning, welcome back to the channel. It's what are we on today? We're Tuesday today. As you can see, we've had a wild dusting of snow. Everybody's forgotten to drive and the town's all snarled up. Normally I'd be in Rickaby's by now, loading the van up and getting ready to go. So yeah, hey, I tell you something, for those of you that don't know Carlisle, that is Dixon's Chimney right there, that great big tower. And then the building to the right of it, sort of over there, that was part of, I think it was a mill of some description back in the Victorian days. Yeah, Dixon's Chimney you can see from miles around. It's a bit of a landmark in Carlisle. And I think you might be able to see Al's history lesson. There's Carlisle Castle there in the distance. So there's two of the most iconic landmarks of Carlisle, a big tower and a castle. Right, I'll catch you when I've got my van loaded up. 10 to 9, unbelievable. I left my house at 10 to 8 this morning. Ridiculous. It's really snowing now. Shouldn't affect us. I'm pretty sure it's just the west that's affected. So today, do you remember last week I was talking about having 3 jobs to do up on the east coast? Well, yesterday I've got a 14 tonner that won't start. We suspect that it is the electric lift pump that brings the diesel through all the filters that's packed in. So I've got one of them on the van, I've got fuel filters on the van, so I'm going to go to it, and then one of the jobs that I was going to do as part of my big day in the east coast, I'm going to go and get that serviced. I'm certainly setting off a lot later than I expected today, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I'm pretty sure I'll get pointed towards the east, and I'm pretty sure the snow should disappear. Not that it's going to come too much in Carlisle, I don't think. It's to rain later on this afternoon by the look of it, and then it's to be -7 tomorrow. Yeah, I've got Castle Douglas doing a job for me as well. I've got a 210 with AdBlue quality issues. The driver of the machine was on yesterday. I got him to drain the AdBlue tank and refill it with fresh stuff, and this morning it doesn't seem to be any better. So there's an AdBlue quality sensor that's in stock at Castle Douglas, so it makes sense for them to nip out there and do that. Although the machine is also due a 2,000 hour service as well. I'll get that tied into another couple of jobs when I'm in that sort of area. So yeah, right, let's get on with the day, shall we? It's a totally different day up here. There's folk working ground up, there's ploughs turning sods over. Totally different day. It's cold enough, 2 degrees, bit of a breeze. But yeah, no traffic anymore, thank goodness for that. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, the roads haven't been too bad on the way up here, so I'm pleased about that. So I just called in at the yard to speak to the mechanic there, see what the crack was. The machine was running for 45 minutes yesterday idle, and they jumped in it to use it and it cut out, wouldn't restart. So he was on the phone yesterday, and we don't think the lift pump is pumping any fuel. So to me what it's done is it's sort of ran itself out of diesel that it can get hold of. They've gone to pick up the machine to lift the revs up, and the revs have died out, so that's what I'm thinking. But it is also, or it was, very very cold up this way yesterday, and the fuel filters might have gelled up and blocked the fuel system up. So I've got fuel filters on the van as well. So that's what we'll start with anyway, fuel filters. He has taken the water and fuel filter off to check the filter head. Apparently that was clean, but I think it was damaged when it was being removed, so I'll get a couple of filters put on it first. Go from there. Nearly there now anyway. I think I'll make that do because this ground is fairly frozen, and that's the sort of thing that would, oh, it'd just do damage to the van. It would. There's hardly a breath of wind. Lovely day. Oh, I'm pleased I'm not trudging about in the slop and the snow, and evidently the rain that's to come. Put some warm clothes on, I think, before I wander over there. This filter doesn't look too bad. Definitely been off anyway because the track's damp. I think what I'll do, I'll grab a drain tray, pull that clip off there, put it into a tray and just see what and if it's pumping anything, and go from there. I think I've got a key. Yes, they've left a key in it for me. Wonderful. Right, grab a tray. Okay, I've got the ignition on. That is coming straight from the fuel lift pump. I can hear it almost buzzing, but it's just not got any go about it. So that fuel is only coming through that filter there, and that is evidently gravity that's allowing that fuel through. It's no more than it was when I unplugged it anyway, so I think we'll just go ahead and put that lift pump on, to be honest with you. I'll crack that pipe off from the tank, make sure there's plenty coming from the, I'll crack it off there, make sure there's plenty coming from the tank through this filter. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that the lift pump just doesn't sound right at all. Just doesn't sound right at all. Put you back on there, mate. I'll have them fuel filters changed as well. I'll go and grab a, what was that, 21. It's funny, some of them are 21, some of them are 22, I'm sure of it. I think that one's, see the size difference? I'm sure that one's 22 and that one's 21. I'm going to commit to an adjustable. Yeah, that's enough. That is enough fuel to satisfy me that there's not really any restrictions. It's a decent flow. I would describe that as a decent flow. Probably should, just to double check, but I'll unplug the lift pump and I will double check that it's getting a full 24 volts to it, just to double check. But that buzzing noise stopped now. The lift pump runs for 2 minutes with ignition on and then it'll stop, and it has stopped now, but I will double check just to dot the I's and cross the T's, so to speak. So where's the electric lift pump? The electric lift pump is, you'll be able to see it better than me because I can shove my arm down. It is, where is it? It is somewhere there. See that pipe? This one here. That's the lift pump there, underneath that ECU wire. And that short little plug there, that short little wire, is the power feed to it. That one there. So I'll unplug that. I've got a cable extension and I'll check the power for it. So I've essentially extended the wire in out to here where it's accessible. Multimeter is on volts. We'll knock the ignition off and turn it back on. Here we go. 24.2 volts. Plenty of fuel. Plenty of power. So we'll go to work on that lift pump now. Joys. So here's the lift pump. We'll do an unboxing because folk like it and it's exciting. Had to get this down from Castle Douglas yesterday. We normally keep one on the shelf, but it hasn't. The stock hasn't been replenished. Now what you can do, hang on, I'll open it out the bag. So it is mounted to the machine. As I was pointing to the pipe to you, it was that pipe there I think I was pointing out, or that one, can't remember. You get the hose tail with this, but you can disconnect it. But as it's sat on the machine, it's sat like that on this bracket, 3 bolts that hold it. But these Allen bolts do point out towards the counterweight like that. And you can take the 4 Allen bolts out as long as you're careful, because the fuel runs through this bracket and into the pump. It is possible that when you pull this off, you either leave an O-ring in here or the O-ring falls off when you install the new pump. So I just generally fit the whole assembly and just plug it straight in, plug and play. They're an M8 thread, but they've got a 10mm head on, just to make life tricky. 10mm. And I'll use me 3/8 today. 12, 11, 10. Double check. Is it 10? Pretty sure I need to remove an ECU plug to get it. Pretty sure. Can't remember. I need to stop the fuel supply. Stop us making a mess. What else do I need? I need to get them. The worst of it is getting these spring-loaded clips off the pipes. That is the hardest part, believe it or not. We'll go up there and see how we come on. My God, that was a fight. That's the biggest fight of the year so far, that. God. See those quick couplings that go onto there, they just snap on. Oh, they're grand when you can get your fingers around them and press the buttons in. They're absolutely shocking when they're... To get down there, I'm literally up to my armpit working. To get a second arm down there, my face is pushed against that bonnet to try and get those snap couplings off. And there's a cheeky little cable tie here. Oh, yeah, that wasn't fun. It'd be even more fun lining those 3 bolts up to get onto the block. Whew. Right, quick recharge and then get this new one on. The fight is over and the battle is won. What a job that was. Oh, I forgot how amazingly awkward they are. The way down here, look. That's the new bit there on the left hand side of that wiring loom. Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you just do without making sure that it is that. Oh Lord. Okay, I'll whip some filters off and change them now, and then we'll strike it up, fingers crossed. Can't see any other reason why it wouldn't start now. Should have a bit of diesel to go on. Okay, fuel filter's changed. This will be the real test now because everything's blooming empty. We'll jump up here, turn the ignition on, see what I've left unplugged at the back or what I've leant on and snapped a wire. Anything flashing up? Nothing flashing up, that's good. We should be able to see the fuel filters. Filling up. Oh. Did I plug that? I'm sure I plugged the pump in, but I can't hear anything. Please let it just be the plug. Not plugged. Oh, the plug isn't plugged in now. Oh, yeah. Could have sworn I plugged that in. Never mind. Oh, this is a... Why? How can that be? Come on. There. Hey! We're alive. That sounds better. Oh! Right. Hopefully that'll bleed the fuel system. Go down here and check this fuel going into this filter. Oh look. Sounded like it had a bit of air going through it there, they weren't pushed on proper. That sounds good. What do we think? Let it have a sup of diesel for a minute or two, or should we just fire it up? Oh, let's have a go, shall we? Go on. I'll let it have a sup of diesel. Not unless something else Jurassic's gone wrong. Might have to get the old laptop out and see what the real pressure is. Oh dear. There is a check valve that can stick on them. Right, we'll give it another chance. Could do with this being an open and shut case like. Nope. Oh, there we go. Hooray. Well, I'm pleased to hear that going. That's squeaking. I thought, oh, that doesn't sound clever. Right, I'll go and put all this stuff away. We'll come back and we'll have a bit play with the digger, make sure it's working. That'll get a bit of mine. Right. Right, we'll see if it revs up, shall we? Oh yes. About how many hours has this big dig done? Have a look. Yeah, 8,500 hours. That's how long that's lasted. Unless someone's put one on in the past, but I don't think anyone would have refitted that cable tie if they had done. Well, I wouldn't have done anyway. Right, I'll give it a little bit longer of a workout and then we'll go to the next digger. That one's younger brother. Right, I've had a bit play out. Maybe should have levelled off that area to turn around, but I haven't because it might be like that for a reason, I don't know. So what I'm going to try and do is turn around on here. Somebody's already done it there, but that ground is frozen solid, so we won't get stuck, will we? I hope not. We'll give it a go. Next digger is about 10 minutes in that direction. God, I tell you what, it's nice to feel the sun on your cheeks. It is. The window's filthy, look. Whew. I've eaten my lunch on the way here. I had my lunch by about 11:30. It is 20 to 2 now. So we shouldn't be too late back tonight. I always forget when I come up here that it's 2 hours to get home. But by the time we get to that digger and set off servicing 2 o'clock, it's a 1,000-hour service. So it'll be 4 o'clock and then it's 2 hours back, 6 o'clock. So better go and get on, shall we? Right, I'm here. I've already kind of started. I'm catching up with the driver. I'll save you the I'll put it on a time lapse because I'm aware I've done a lot of servicing recently. So I've got a couple more to do as well this week. So I'll set a nice place for a time lapse. You can see it's whizzing about and the sunshine's disappeared. There we go. That's him away back down to his ditch. Happy days. I didn't take as long as I thought. I thought I was doing a 1,000-hour service, but it wasn't. It was a 500-hour service. It was a 1,500-hour service, which is just an extra couple of filters, that engine breather filter. So that's not been too bad. I thought it'd be a couple of hours, but I think I've been about an hour and 20, hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half. Lovely job. You probably won't have seen it, but because the digger was parked there, but I've been slipping and sliding. Very slippery. Just be careful. Okay, I'm gonna head home. I should get back at a decent time tonight, and we'll see you in the morning. I've got a 420 shovel to go and have a quick look at for an engine management light, and I think I'll go and do another service for a 2,000-hour service in the afternoon, probably. So yeah, see you in the morning. Morning. It's a nice cold start to the day today. I'm just on this DL420. It's the same one that I put the new seat base in. I'm at this machine it had an engine management light on yesterday. It hasn't got it on this morning, but while I've been sat doing a forced regen, because when I got here the machine was idling and it was doing an auto regen, I thought I better just put it into a forced one, make sure it completes it. Occasionally I'm getting a engine management light flicker up and disappear. I've managed to catch it in the real-time information, but the one that seems to be the trouble is this turbo one. Where's it at? Turbine speed, open load. So I'm just gonna let this machine finish its regen and then we'll check the plug, because it's got a variable displacement turbo on it, a VGT. So we'll just check the plugs to it once it's finished its regen. Shouldn't take too long. Going to monitoring engine signal. We started the regen at 67% and it's now 46 now. See the temperatures in the exhaust as well. It's toasty. Yeah, once this is finished I'll idle the machine down, we'll just check some connections. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I've been sat about... There's that engine management light now, look. I guarantee you by the time I get to the real-time codes, it will go. Yeah, it's gone. It was the turbo one anyway that I had a picture of. So it was. That's what I'm up to anyway at the moment, just playing the old waiting game. So I've stripped down the pipes off the turbo to make sure everything's okay in there, because the operator said that the engine oil wasn't as high as it usually is. So I thought I'd better just check that the turbo isn't passing oil, but everything was immaculate in there. So it is now a job for Scania to come and do it. Anything sort of warranty related on the Scania engines, we put a report in, get Scania Assist to assign a local dealer, and yeah, Scania should be here in the next couple of hours. Okay, it's a couple of hours since you last saw me. I've been back at the yard. There's a new door to go on a digger, which I've got to do tomorrow, and that door has the customer's sign writing on. I take my hat off to sign writers. That was the most stressful 20 minutes, half an hour of my week so far. Didn't enjoy myself one bit, and it was quite a long name, and then it had like the shadowing behind it. Horrible. That is a talent, that. Where am I going now? I've loaded up with a DX210 service, 2,000 hour service. That's the digger that broke down yesterday. Casa Douglas went out to it for us. It had an AdBlue quality sensor issue. But 2,000 hour service is quite a big service, and I would imagine by the time they got up to that and sorted that fault, it had been getting on towards dark, so I said don't worry about the service, I'll catch that myself. So I'm going to put the rest of my afternoon in doing that. Recognise that tractor, do you? Last seen with a topper on the front of it. He's had a bit of an accident with the straw blower, like. So yeah, I was going to catch up with him too. There's some new toys to play with at the farm this year, which would be nice. We'll probably see them, no doubt. Yeah, maybe in the summertime, probably this spring, get a bit of spring ploughing done. I look forward to that. Oh, I tell you, spring seems so far away at the minute. It does. Remember when you used to be able to go to work with a t-shirt on? It didn't happen much last year, to be fair. Anyway, yeah, so I've got about an hour's drive up to this 210. We'll get some filters spinning. It'll be cold up there too. It'll be bitterly cold, and the driver has warned me that the road up there is like glass. Look at this yard. It's just total ice. Just a big ice box. Right, anyway, we'll get on. Right, I'm heading up. I think it's up this track. I'm not 100% sure, but I have been up here before, but that would be about 3 years ago, probably when this track was getting built. But it is very slippery. I'm not looking forward to coming back down the way. But it's a grand day, look. Not a cloud in the sky. Marvellous. We'll see how we come on anyway. I think there's another gate to go through, and then follow my nose after that, see what happens. Normally those goalposts that you go under, that sort of tells you that you're on a forestry route. But they do look quite old, and it was a long time ago when I was in here. I'm driving a little while now, but I've finally spotted the digger. To a stop. There it is, right in the centre of the screen. So hopefully this road takes us there, because the sat nav was wanting me to stay on the tarmac road and come in round the back, but I've never came in from that direction before, and then looked like it was just like park up in the middle of the woods and set off walking. So, good job I've got a bit of local knowledge, I think. We'll find out in a minute. Somebody's been up and down here since yesterday morning anyway, because that was when we had the snow. Right, we've made it. What a view. Look at that. Happy days. Funny you enjoy the job, isn't it? Not stuck in an office, not sat on a motorway. Breathe it in. Marvellous. Right, I'll have a crack with the driver and we'll get a start. Just got my thumbnail. I was talking to the driver there, and you know, I was saying how our lad Liam was up here. The lad that came and helped us with that crankshaft oil seal. Was up here yesterday, and he said it was wild. It was like Arctic conditions. Grab rails are all iced up, and he said, "Oh, you should send a picture of him to the view today." Funny day. Right, I've got pumps draining, engine oil's drained, and slew gearbox is currently draining. So I'll make a start on my filters now. 2,000 hour service at basically every conceivable filter, apart from the AdBlue filter. Apparently the AdBlue filter will do 4,500 hours. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this out, change this. I'm using this filter chain slightly more frequently now. That was tight, very tight. Anyway, air filter's done. I'm just going to do the fuel filters. I'm not going to make a mess in there, so I'm just going to go and grab some rags. 2:45, flying. 2 fuel filters done on that far side. Air filter's done. Just about to do the pilot filter. What a nice day. I keep saying it, but it's just a pleasure to working with her like this. It really is. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'd sooner be cold, because you can put extra layers on, rather than wet, cold and wet. Yeah, it's good. Right, I'll get this pilot filter off, and it's just a return filter, a couple of cab filters. I always get to this point where just a return filter and a couple of cab filters, don't I? And I fetch you along. Right, double-handed job. Look, the sun's setting now. It's getting a bit chilly. So I made the executive decision to do that smooth water first. So that's all good. Took a long time, like. Anyway, I've just got 2 hubs, 2 cab filters. I'll do this one on this far side in the shade first, get the worst of it done. I'm sure you won't mind not seeing much of this service. Right, as you can hear, the engine is kindled up. I've got no oil leaks in here, so we'll shut this door. I can't imagine there's anything leaking in here because it's starting and running. We're all good. Marvellous. Sun's nearly down. By the time I finish my paperwork, we'll have a cracking photo. Tell you now. Right, I'll catch you in a minute or 2. There we go, that's him back to work. Shame those clouds are there. That would have been a really good sunset. Typical. Anyway, I'm gonna have a ham roll that I got from the shop on the way up here, although I did eat something on the way up here anyway. Probably shouldn't be having this so close to tea time. I'll not eat my tea, but never mind. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button. If you're watching this video and you haven't yet subscribed, I'd also appreciate that too. If you hit the subscribe button, it'll help me out a great deal. Right, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.